If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Some of you may have heard yesterday a hoax went down on social media sites called FaceZam, which is a combination of Facebook and Shazam. The hoax was nothing more than a social conditioning test, and I want to explain to people how social conditioning works. What they did was this company claimed that they were able to take any photograph in live time. You could take a picture of somebody and immediately it will be able to recognize that person's face. It was a fake facial recognition app. What this was a quote unquote publicity stunt. That's what they do. They deem these things publicity stunts because what they are major tests on the masses. With mind control, they can't just force feed things on you. They do tests on us all the time to see how we will react to certain things. It's no different than the mouse in the wheel or the mouse or rat that goes through the maze, right? And it gets electrocuted here, it gets zapped there, trying to find the cheese. They study us, but they also condition us. So they wanted to see what the pullback would be on something like this because they already have the capability of using face recognition. That's pretty clear. So when they run tests like this, and they call the app FaceZam, and then they'll come out and say it's a publicity stunt, that's because they want to see how people react to it. They make it viral. They want to see the pulse of the people. They're always testing the pulse of the people. That's what they use a lot of these social media platforms for. Not just conditioning, but to see how people react to certain things. That's why they're able to scan your comments on Facebook, all the things that you post on Facebook, in addition to feeding you certain news stories in your feed to see how it plays on your mood. In other words, they'll put negative news in your news feed, and then they'll monitor your social media status to see if that news affected your mood for the day or how you felt. This is the surveillance that we're under. This is how they keep us under their mind control because they test things out. So this thing was called FaceZam, and what they did was they claim that they're able to identify strangers from a photograph. So it claims it could identify people by matching a photo of them with their Facebook profile. It was claimed that all users had to do is take a picture of someone on the street and run it through the app, which will tell them who it thinks the person is in the photo. Now, this, according to them, turned out to be a viral marketing publicity stunt. And Facebook came out and said, people trust us to protect their privacy and keep their information safe. This activity would violate our terms. That's just Facebook now trying to make sure that people don't delete their Facebook accounts, that they remain on there. Facebook is you. The CIA and the FBI monitor Facebook. Facebook has a division within the CIA. Okay, they monitor all of these things. They monitor you at all times. That's how they keep a pulse on us. So FaceZam falsely was claiming it could scan billions of Facebook profile images in a second through a database for developers until it found a match. It claimed to be able to link most photos with a profile on the social network within 10 seconds. It said FaceZam could be the end of our anonymous societies, said Zach Kenyon, who claimed to have founded FaceZam. Users will be able to identify anyone within a matter of seconds, which means privacy will no longer exist in public society. Well, technically it doesn't. People are pretty much giving away all of their information. It's the illusion that there's still privacy. But we know from the Patriot Act and all these other things that they've passed that there is no privacy anymore. They go on to mention how this technology could help reduce crime by making everyone identifiable, adding that the public implications of the app couldn't be predicted because what happened was they ran this social conditioning test to see how people would react. Would they even care about something like this? And the feedback was extremely negative. But this is how they start to condition people. Okay, because at first, of course, the feedback is going to be negative. The CIA, the FBI, all, the governments around the world have face recognition, face identification, all this stuff already in place. They already use it. They want you to start using it so that you could even keep an eye on things for them. And that's how it's going to go down. But they tested how people reacted, and everybody reacted for the most part. According to a few sources, they said 70% of the feedback was negative, that people were fearful and they were scared. So they pulled back, of course, and they were going to call this a giant hoax and a publicity stunt because that's what they do with these things. Okay, last year, you probably didn't even hear about this, because this is probably when my channel was just starting, but they actually had masturbation booths put up around New York City. Booths where people could just walk in, not even lock a door, just use a sheet, and then masturbate in public. I kid you not, I'll leave it linked up below. Now, this came out as well to be a publicity stunt, but they want to see how people react to all of these things, these perversions, these removals of privacy, because the technology and all that stuff's already there. They have to now begin social conditioning. And social conditioning gets you used to this process, okay? And once they start conditioning you with it repetitively, saying, look, this could help reduce crime. Who really cares about your privacy? What are you hiding anyway? Month after month after month, eventually it'll go from 70% of people being negative and afraid of this to 70% of people saying it's a wonderful idea and a great idea. Now, they'll never get 100% of people, obviously, to be on board, but all they really need is the majority of people, because they don't want people deleting their Facebook. They don't want people getting off of social media. They want people getting on social media. That's why it's constantly promoted and constantly pushed, because they use it to our disadvantage and to their advantage. So this thing called FaceZam is another one of these things that you'll see pop up in social conditioning. This is technology they already have. And by getting this in place, which it will be in due time, people will be doing work for the CIA. People will be doing work to take privacy away. Some of these articles even talk about, hey, do you think a girl on your train is really hot, but you don't know, you're afraid to go up to her and talk? Take a picture of her with FaceZam, find out her name, so you can go stalk her Facebook, stalk her pictures, and get to know her better. That's how sick this is getting. But people are willingly putting this stuff out there, and then sometimes they go back and cry a river and say, oh, this person stalked my Facebook. But why would you put the stuff out there? Why would you put your personal and private information out there? Even if you think your settings are set to private, the CIA and the FBI can access that stuff. And you might say, well, who cares if they can access it? I'm not doing anything wrong. Because they're going to use it to your disadvantage. They are gaining as much information and data on us as possible. And that's all the internet's really becoming. With these data mining operations, when you go to a website and they ask for your email and stuff like that, they sell that data that you sign up for. When you go somewhere and it's like, you want to read this article, to continue, you have to give me your email, your name, and your date of birth. People do. And they don't realize that that data is then sold so that not only they can market to you, so they have information that you're willingly giving to them. So this FaceZam thing, while people at first are fearful, trust me, this is how social conditioning works. This will change. This won't go from 70% scared people, and that's just a number they came up with. Who knows how many people were really scared? But they already have this plan. When they say, listen, we're going to roll this out, this thing, we're going to call it a viral marketing thing. That's what they always tag these things with. Viral marketing. Oh, somebody was just trying to gain attention for their company. And then, they use that as their excuse, because people will go, well, what is this? Why is this there? Oh, it was just some type of marketing publicity stunt to get attention to their business. And then everybody falls for that. They don't realize it's our own government that's running these tests and then calling them viral marketing or calling them whatever they want. So this will change. This is step one in social conditioning. This is exactly how it works. You will continue to hear about this technology. You will continue to hear underlining tones about how this could take crime down even lower, right? That's what the bottom of these articles are saying. Well, in the future, something like this could really help the police. It'll reduce the crime rate because people could be seen all around at all times. People will go along with it. You'll see the percentage of people afraid of this completely flip, because a year from now, they can run another test, and I'm sure they'll run these tests every few months, maybe every 3 to 6 months. They'll come back and they'll say, oh, we had this thing. And people go, I already heard about that last year. I mean, what really is the big deal, right? Yeah, you're right. And that's how conditioning of the masses works. So this was the facial recognition Facebook app hoax, which apparently terrified the internet, because the pullback was negative, which is probably what they expected at first, because anytime they do social conditioning, the first reaction is always going to be negative. But then they start conditioning people to think that it's safe, that it's good for them, it's not a big deal. Just like the after school Satan stuff. It's not even being mentioned anymore. At first, people were like, oh, this is awful. But then articles come out saying, look, nothing bad's happening. These people aren't indoctrinating kids with Satanism. Okay. They're just talking about science and stuff like that. And then people go, yeah, it's not a big deal. And then the pushback goes away, and it starts pulling over to the other side, where people who were against it are now for it, because they've been conditioned. They already are aware of it. They haven't seen anything bad happen from it. And then they go, oh, who cares? It's no longer this new scary idea. Because when they introduce things at first, some people are terrified of the new idea. Oh, that sounds scary. It sounds like they might be doing something to me. And then when they go, well, nothing bad has happened. Oh, this crime could have been avoided if people had this FaceZam app, right? Oh, we could have saved somebody's life, or we could have stopped this from happening if we had people, who are using this technology, and people will go along with it. So another social conditioning, test run by Facebook. I've mentioned the other ones they've done. Like I said earlier in this video, rolling out negative things in the news feed and positive things, and then monitoring your behavior throughout the day, throughout the week on Facebook, all the things that you post and talk about, and trying to see if that will play a negative effect on your mindset or a positive one. We are, the rats in the trap. We're the rats in the maze, and they're just playing with our minds, because that's what this is all about. This is massive mind control, and that's all that they are working on. That is how they're going to get people to go along with this new world order and accept it. You hear all these commercials about tolerance, about acceptance. This is how it's going down, through these trigger words and through this mind control. And Facebook is a major, major part of it. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.